economic thresholds of each specific pest, the disease pressures, and the different conditions that are associated with those. And then also, number one job is to make the grower money at the end of the day.
Yeah,
so you need to have a successful harvest without overspraying or over applying or burning your budget, and then get the crop to harvest.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, and then that obviously takes some finesse, it sounds like,
Absolutely.
And then figuring it out. And you have people like kind of breathing down your shoulder at this point, or?
It depends on your relationship with the grower, but typically a good PCA, as Junior said, is diligent, and they walk their fields every day or every other day.
Like you said, 6 days a week, out there doing it during the season. This is the time.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Late great Dr. John Palumbo always said, when in doubt, scout. So, we're always out in the fields. Usually you can tell a good PCA by muddy boots and blown out knees on his pants, because you're down on the ground, you're flipping leaves over, and you're looking under every single leaf and knowing exactly what's going on in that field just as much as the grower does.
So you're looking at you're looking at the leaf, and by the damage that's happening, you could tell what pest it is?
Yeah, pest presence, damage, frass, anything, egg masses, anything and anything that would telltale signs of a pest being there. Mm-hmm. And then you mentioned resistance, so we have to manage our chemical modes of action and our chemical controls so that we're rotating between groups and not within groups, and being cognizant of resistant populations. There's trapping networks around the county that we, are tapped into through the U of A extension. And so we pay attention to what's coming in on the traps. We pay attention to the types of insects that we're dealing with, and then use proper modes of action, selective chemistries, and a whole range of other products to keep our pests at bay.
Yeah, and go ahead.
Oh, sorry. No, what I was going to say is for those who are listening and don't know, they're like pest control advisors. These guys and girls and ladies, you have to go to school. You have to be educated. You have to have an ag science degree. You have to have certain disciplines that you studied and completed and passed. And then after you're done with that and you get your degree, then you have to go to the state and take a test. Mm-hmm. And it's a 6-7 part test on all these different categories within pest management, right? So we're talking about insects, weeds, pathogens, all these different topics within the industry. You have to pass those tests, and they're not easy. It's hard. And there's only 2 states that do that, and that's California and Arizona.
What do you mean 2 states that do
that require licenses for pest control advisor?
So if you're a grower and Kyle's checking your stuff and you want to spray something, Kyle has to write up basically what we call in Arizona called a 1080 form, or a prescription, if you think about a pharmacist or a doctor.
That's a good way to look at it. That makes sense.
Absolutely. Yeah. So you can't spray, or you can't go to the pharmacy to get what you need until your doctor writes your order, right? And that's basically how it's regulated and how it's done.
Okay, that makes sense, because you're looking at the symptoms, right? This is what this is. This is what's going on. You write this up. This is what we need to take care of it. So like you said, like a pharmacy, you would go to, he was your rep. You'd go like, okay, this is what we need over here. Does that make sense?
Yeah, so I'm like the pharmaceutical rep.
Pharmaceutical rep, yeah.
He would be, the doctor, and then you'd be picking up
the whoever the farm is the patient, correct?
Yeah.
Gotcha. Yeah. And so why only 2 states that have this? Sounds like, because other thing I think is food safety. I think food safety as well, right? You don't want to obviously overspray, use something that, right? You have to, so why is there only 2 states that kind of regulate it? Do you know?
It's $1 million question. Don't know.
You don't know?
I don't know. But I think it's great. I think it's great for everybody to have that role, that title, that responsibility, the stewardship of being a pest control advisor, and what comes with it, right? The responsibility, and you said food safety, but also just safety in general, right?
Safety in general, yeah, absolutely.
It's pretty neat.
So then when you see something that comes from Arizona, you could have a little bit more assurance that everything went, the P's and the Q's, the dotted I's, the crossed T's, everything is in place.
Yeah, all the materials that we're using are labeled by the federal EPA, and they're also approved and labeled within the states that we spray them. Mm-hmm. And so it comes with trial data, research and development, and years and lots of money go into the registration of a product and making sure that it is safe and sustainable, and it's the same stuff we're feeding our kids. So don't be worried if you
absolutely
you see a spray rig in the field.
I might be off a little bit. It might have changed in the most recent years, but I was told it was 8 to 10 years to register a pesticide, whether that's organic or conventional. 8 to 10 years to get a registration with EPA. It's probably longer now. And then I think it's upwards to $350 to $400 million total cost, all in, to get a registration in the United States.
Wow.
So I can tell you, we just had a material registered last December of 2025. We submitted it to the EPA in 2020. We discovered the molecule. I say we, my company Syngenta, discovered the molecule in 2007. And we trialed it all the way through until we were ready to submit it to EPA in 2020. We submitted and finally got federal registration December 27th of 2026 or 2025, excuse me. So 6.5 years, almost 6 years within the federal hands, and it's still not approved in California. It just got registered in Arizona. But that was the first submission to the EPA that had to go through the ESA Act, the Endangered Species Act.
Okay.
And so that added probably another 1.5 years to the registration.
Wow. So we're going to have to take a break right now, but then you guys became competition or something, right? They're no longer the rep.
When I left the farm, there was a job opportunity to go to a manufacturer, and it just so happened to be a competitive manufacturer.
But you guys are buddies. You're
Absolutely.
still friends.
We're frenemies.
You're frenemies. There you go.
8 to 5 frenemies.
And you're on the board together, and we're going to discuss what this golf tournament's all about. After the break, though, we're going to do that right after this. You're listening to What's Up Yuma Radio right here on 94.7 KOFA Border Radio.
Ever wanted to be on the radio? Still talking into your hairbrush in the mirror? Border Radio needs you as a volunteer host. Share music, stories, and local conversations that matter. No experience necessary. We'll provide the training. Email info@borderradioaz.org or call 877-838-5292 for more information.
You are tuned to 94.7 FM, KOFA Border Radio. We expect a warm, sunny day in Yuma with an afternoon high of about 82 degrees. Winds are northerly at 5 to 10 miles per hour. Clear skies tonight with a low around 55 degrees. The screams and punches were loud and fast Friday night at the Z Fun Factory in Yuma. No, it wasn't a bar fight. Rather, it was the colorful world of professional wrestling by Yuma's local promotion, Attitude Pro Wrestling. Find out more about APW online at KWC.org.
Hey, it's Ana Maria Sayer from NPR Music. Have you ever dreamed of playing behind the iconic Tiny Desk? Now's your opportunity to join the ranks of artists ranging from Robert Plant to Doechii and Catriel y Paco Amoroso to Chaperone. Unsigned musicians can enter NPR's Tiny Desk contest between now and February 9th. Learn more and see the official rules at npr.org/tinydeskcontest.
Why is music an important part of your life? For many of us, music lets us see the world from someone else's perspective. We can find community in hearing someone else's joy, sorrow, or hope expressed in song or melody. KOFA Border Radio is your local, non-commercial source for great music.
What's up, Yuma? Welcome back to What's Up Yuma Radio. We are here with two frenemies, Kyle and Junior, and they are both on the board for the Yuma County Ag Producer Scholarship. And yeah, I know that's what you reached out to me originally. That's what you wanted to talk about. So we're going to kind of dive into this now. You got a golf tournament coming up, the John Palumbo, is that how you say it?
You're right.
Memorial Golf Tournament. And this is going to benefit this scholarship. But can you tell us a little bit about who John is and why he deserves this memorial?
Yeah, so John Palumbo was probably the foremost entomologist in vegetable production in the world. He was a mentor, a professor, a friend to many of us, and he's a special man that means so much to us. So we were talking about PCAs and kind of where we learn our thresholds and our basic practices. I quoted him. I said, John always said, "When in doubt, scout." That was his famous line. But he was a university professor in extension. He was based at the Yuma Ag Center, and his research basically paved the way for the way that every PCA checks fields. And
somebody right here in Yuma, Arizona, paved the way for, like we were talking off air. You said the world.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, yeah, world-renowned entomologist. The work that he did since 1989, 1990 has changed the game for the better, right? Mm-hmm. He's helped chemical companies like ours discover and build and understand the chemistries that we're bringing to the market. And I'll tell you right now, from our company, when we discovered something on the bench, the first person we sent it to was Dr. John Palumbo. I mean, the first. We didn't hesitate. It was like, John, can you look at this and tell us what you think?
So like this is something like if something pops up, something new, something that you don't really have a grasp around, you say, okay, here, take a look. And what would he do? He's like get to work right away, starting to like investigate or
field trial research. So we would identify a molecule. We did the same thing with that material that I was telling you that we submitted. That took 6 years.
Oh, okay.
John had it in his hands right after our formulation scientists got done with it. We sent it to John and said, we think we have something here. Tell us what you think. And so John, he works with, he would number the compounds, and so there would be no favoritism, no naming, nothing like that. And he would do unbiased research on all these materials and then take them through the process of finding out what works and what doesn't, what pests it works on, what pests it's not effective on, and how to use this. And that helps write our label language when we submit these to the EPA as well.
So you said he had like this blind process, didn't want to show any favoritism, like thinking like, oh, this worked before or something. Yeah. So he just really went down to, he's like an investigator?
Absolutely.
Okay.
A research scientist.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. I mean, he was key in getting registrations for, all kinds of insecticides through the years and all that good stuff. But the most unbiased and objective field researcher probably ever. I mean, he was so good at his job.
And you mentioned unbiased. I just want to say, why was that important?
Because you don't want a relationship that you have with the guy to influence the way that he feels about a material, because his word is so strong in the industry, and because he is unbiased, that's why his word is so strong.
Wow.
And it was so good. I'll tell you, if we had something we wanted to look at or we discovered that had potential, and we gave it to John, and John said, thumbs up, it looks great, I like it. Or if he said thumbs down, don't like it, or even más o menos, we tossed it. Because if John thinks it's not worth our time, it's probably not worth our time. And yeah, he was a visionary.
And both of you had a relationship with him, correct?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Very well.
Yeah. And what's beautiful about John, too, is such a kind, humble man. One of the most inspiring people I ever met. I was very lucky to get to know him there. Once I started my professional career, actually was my professor at the U of A, too, in his IPM course. But I love his story. Local Arizona guy, grew up in Palo Verde, which is near Buckeye. Don't get the two confused, though, as the locals get mad. But born and raised in Palo Verde, went to AWC, actually, for a little bit, played football here.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, then transferred and went to the University of Idaho, played football over there for a little bit, then went to the U of A, wrapped up over there, and then did some stuff at Oklahoma State, if I remember right, and then came back, finished up at the U of A, and then got his job in extension here in Yuma.
Yeah, you know the story. I love that you know it.
Yeah,
that's something that it really kind of speaks to his character and who he is, that you would know all of that. You would do your research and, just have it on top of your head right now. And so you said we were talking off air a little bit. He lost a battle to cancer. Is that the...
Yeah, he had a long battle there with lung cancer.
Lung cancer?
Yeah. And what a warrior. What a man.
Yeah, and so that was last year in May, is that correct?
Correct.
So last year in May, you guys lose this giant in the industry. Did it shake it up quite a bit?
I don't know if giant's even a good enough word. I don't know if there is one. He was a titan. I mean, an absolute one of one, right? And it's hurt. I mean, there's people that I'll talk to, I'm sure Kyle has, and they're like, man, I wish I could talk to John right now and ask him what he would do in this situation. I'm in a pickle. What would Johnny do?
Yeah.
And,
I remember one of my first years in the Imperial Valley, I was walking organic romaine, and I flipped over a leaf, and it was covered in bean thrip, and I had no idea what they were. I was just like dumbfounded. And the first thing I did in that field on the ground, I hadn't even stood up yet, was take a picture on my phone and send it to John, and I just said, help. And he goes, collect a few samples, put them in a bag, bring them to the research station. And it was already probably 4:30 in the Imperial Valley. I drove all the way over. I met him at the ag station probably at that point 6 p.m. and he stayed afterwards, and he's like, these are bean thrips. I think they're, use this and this. I think you should have a good kill on them. Should be easy. But I thought my career was over. There was hundreds of them on each plant.
Oh, wow.
And I specifically remember that. And a similar situation happened with me in Southern California with cucumber beetle, spotted cucumber beetle. I'm used to striped flea beetle. That's pretty common in our area, but I saw these, they look like reverse ladybugs, but yellow and black. And I was just completely out of my element, oh my gosh, John, what am I going to do here? And so his presence, his missing presence is palpable, for everybody.
Yeah. So this golf tournament, whose idea, or was it like a collective idea? Like we also, you got to get together and memorialize this titan in the industry.
Yes.
Yeah, so I mean, it was on our radar as a board for probably the last year and a half, 2 years. We've been kind of kicking the can around. And then we committed to a board meeting, I think, in December, January, maybe before he passed. And then
so this is really new then.
Yeah, this is the first one.
Yeah, that's the first one, but like really new just as of December.
Oh, it would have been of 24, December of 24.
Yeah, John was actually there, and we kicked around the idea with him, but it wasn't about him. We didn't know.
You just wanted to do a golf tournament.
So I'll tell you a little bit about the Yuma County Ag Producer Scholarship. So we're an ag-based scholarship. If anybody has an ag major and they want to return to Yuma, that's kind of the credentials that we have, and then there's some academic requirements as well. But since 2007 was the inception of the Yuma County Ag Producer Scholarship, and John was a founding board member of that. We are the primary beneficiary from the Harvest Dinner, which is at the culmination of the Ag Summit, and so that's where we get most of our funds for. Yeah. But we've been growing exponentially in terms of student interest and having qualified applicants apply, and our mission as a board was to not deny any qualified applicant, and so we were outpacing our funding. And so we still are very appreciative of the Harvest Dinner, and we will still continue to be their primary beneficiary, but we needed to find some other sources of funding. And so we were kicking around the idea of a golf tournament. The board was on board with it as long as we took it on. So Junior and I kind of have been spearheading this thing.
They're like, we're good with it. Go ahead, do it, guys.
Yeah. And so everything came to a head in May. And then the first people that we asked for permission to do it in John's name was his wife and his daughter. And they gave us the green light. And so from then on, it's just been off to the races basically since July of last year. We've been going full bore, getting this collateral made and then forming the tournament structure and trying to make sure that it's an event that doesn't go anywhere and that people have a good time at, and it represents John really well.
Yeah, so getting this stuff made, it's very nicely produced. You could tell that you guys really took your time to make sure like his stories in here and everything. So you put it together. Now, are you organizing the whole thing? You two, like that's, and you good golfers? You guys all right?
Yeah, I'm better than Junior, but
you're better. Okay.
I only have one good knee, so he.
Oh yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
The knee and lack of talent. No,
that's right. That's right. I could beat Kyle, but I have those two things going against me.
Yeah, that's a problem.
They play more golf at Syngenta. What can I say?
Yeah, that's what we do.
That's cool. Yeah, they have more free time to just golf, huh?
I know.
Yeah.
Our products sell themselves, so
there you go. But so you said the Harvest Dinner, which if you're in Yuma, you know what the Harvest Dinner is. It's a huge event.
Farmers Prom.
But you were outpacing. You said you needed to create more money because you didn't want to turn down any of these applicants, right? And I love the mission. Bring them back to Yuma, right? Like you're going to do this. If you have a commitment, come back to Yuma and be here and be part of the solution here.
So since 2007, we've given away 312 scholarships for $463,500.
Wow.
And with no intentions of slowing down.
That's
and last
incredible.
year we had a record number of applicants. We gave away 27 scholarships for $61,000. So it's a freshman through graduate level scholarship, and it's also a progressive scholarship. So if you receive the scholarship 1 year and you receive it a second year, your funds are increased.
Okay.
So if you take it through the culmination of your studies, you get more money every year.
Oh, wow.
So it's a really good opportunity. And if students are interested, they can go to goagnow.com and they can find it on the scholarships page.
Okay, so we're going to be wrapping up now. Can you tell everybody when this event is? And do you have all of your sponsors already and everything? Or?
So most of our sponsorships are sold out, but we do still have a few scholarship sponsors available. I think we have 7 spots left. So if you're interested in getting a team, that's the way to do it. Our event is going to be April 18th at Desert Hills Golf Course.
Okay, and then how do people find out more information about this? And
they can look up YCAPS Scholarship on Instagram, or we're on Facebook, or you can go to goagnow.com, or you can call me personally. My phone number is 928-266-6825.
So then the way you're raising money is the teams. You come in,
teams sponsorship. So our title sponsor is 1AZ Credit Union. We have several different sponsorship levels available, and we have several people that have stepped up to the plate and helped out in a big way. So we're very appreciative to everybody that's committed to a sponsorship.
Yeah. And so how many teams are you looking at getting?
So it's going to be a 36-team, 144-man tournament.
Wow.
Oh, yeah. Better hop in, Johnny.
Yeah, that's a lot. Yeah. No, I got a bad knee and no talent.
There you go. Hop in my cart, brother.
There you go. We could be a team.
There we go.
There we go. We could do that. Well, thank you guys so much for coming on. I really appreciate you reaching out. And I hope everybody that out there that does know how to play golf joins the team. And it sounds like a really, really cool scholarship. And like I said, bringing people back to Yuma, that's what it's all about.
Thank you so much for having us, Johnny.
All right, thank you guys. And with that, we are going to take a break, and we'll be back with Nate from Golden State. Nate and his wife, Jaqueline, they are both chefs right here in Yuma, Arizona. Right after this, you're listening to What's Up Yuma Radio right here on 94.7 KOFA Border Radio.
What's Up Yuma is sponsored by High Tanks Brewing Company, crafted in Welton, inspired by the desert, offering scratch-made food, handcrafted beers, live music, and experiences like farm tours and glamping. Location information, the schedule of events, and details on the range of options to be enjoyed are at hightanks.com.
K-pop foodie fans, we're all about food this week on K-pop for Border. Listen in for K-pop songs about ice cream, coffee, and spaghetti. K-pop for Border airs on Wednesdays at 7 p.m. on KOFA Radio. Stream the show on KAWC's app or website, or follow K-pop for Border Facebook or Instagram for the artists and playlists.
Yuma Southwest Contractors Association is hosting its Career and Trades Expo from 9 to 2 on March 3rd and 4th at the Yuma County Fairgrounds. Open to middle and high school students, the event will provide hands-on trades experience and opportunities to explore career options within our community. Details at yswca.com.
I'm Public Radio Runner. Bonus Smiles is the music show where we share the stories and playlists that fuel runners. Join us on your local public radio station, KOFA, at 94.7 FM. In our next episode, we hear from DeAndre Rogers and Devontae Gaskill and the tunes that power their runs.
You can listen on demand on the KOFA app and at borderradioaz.org.
I use KAWC almost on a daily basis in my car. It's the background for chores around my house. And I go to the website and look for stories that are of interest, and I listen to podcasts. I look to the news on NPR because I'm looking for something beyond the headline or a soundbite or a gotcha moment. I really want news that shows me sort of the multiple dimensions of a story, that seeks information from multiple sources and doesn't tell me how to think. It just presents the issues, and I really appreciate that. Being a sustaining member of a service like KAWC takes the mystery out of it for me. So I know that I am supporting every month. I also know that I don't have to remember to sit down and write a check at the end of the year or a budget for a check at the end of the year, right? It's kind of coming out of my account every month, and that makes me feel a little bit like I'm part of the team. I'm Lori Stoft from Arizona Western College, and I'm a proud supporter of KAWC Yuma.
If you're tired of listening to long commercials before finally hearing music, look no further. We've got you covered. Whether you're searching on your radio, trying to find an app to play some tunes, or need background music playing on your computer while finishing up some work, KOFA Border Radio is your non-commercial place for music.
What's up, Yuma? Welcome back to What's Up Yuma Radio. We are here now joined by Nate and his wife, Jaqueline. They are both from Golden State Chefs, and this isn't the Golden State, but they have somehow ended up in the desert over here in Arizona, so we're going to find out how they did that. Thank you guys for being with us.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah, good morning. Good morning. You can move it a little bit closer to you. Okay, husband and wife team. So who was the first chef?
We met in culinary school.
Oh, okay. So you're both in that. I like that. So you're both wanted to be chefs.
Yes.
Yeah. So let's talk about. Start with you, Nate. So food always like a passion of yours, or?
I fell into cooking kind of by mistake, if you will.
Mm-hmm.
Just kind of got in trouble as a kid. Had other plans, they didn't work out, and so because I never planned for this, I didn't have any. I didn't do any college testing or anything like that to go to college, so one of my only options was culinary school, and that's the route I went with.
So like that, it was kind of like only option. Why? What is it?
Sorry.
Like why is it the only option at that point?
Well, I did cook at home. My parents taught me to cook basic
Okay,
food
so
at
there
home,
was a little bit.
There was a little
You
interest there.
could cook. Okay, gotcha.
It was an interest, but it wasn't like what I wanted to do with my life. But then kind of getting backed into a corner, there were other options, of course, but this one, since I had interest.
Yeah, so then there was a little bit there. And when you were younger, anything that you like to cook that you remember?
I think when you're new to cooking, everything's fun. So there wasn't anything in particular that jumped out at me. But when I first started in as a dishwasher, I had an opportunity to jump into sushi. And so that was, I think, the first thing I fell in love with.
So you started in as a dishwasher then?
Yes.
Okay.
Most people, even though you go to culinary school, when you get out, you usually start somewhere near the bottom, dishwasher, prep cook, something like that.
Yeah, I think if I know the story correctly, Eddie Guzman, who now owns Juliana's restaurant here, he was a dishwasher. And then I think he worked his way up, and he kind of told the old owner, Juliana, that he wanted to buy it. And back when he was a dishwasher, so you said that's kind of how they kind of get into the world. You start at the bottom, you work your way up?
Most often, yes.
Most often, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, and what about you, Jackie? Is it all right to do Jackie?
Yeah.
Okay, so how did you start in it?
I just have always loved food. Sorry.
No, yeah, it's all good.
I've always loved food, and I just started like watching the Food Network, and I became like obsessed with like Giada De Laurentiis, like her food.
I'm not sure who that is.
She does like Italian food.
Okay.
There was like a show called like Everyday Italian, and then after that, I just like started trying to make different things, and then I just had fun doing it.
So this is when you were younger.
Yeah.
You're younger. You're watching TV, and you got this interest. You obviously, I love to eat. So I'm not going to be a chef, but you said you love to eat, and then you kind of look like, oh, I could do this.
Yeah. The more I tried it, the more I thought like, I don't know. I could see myself doing this the rest of my life, and I just one day when we were supposed to do the SAT testing, I said, you know what? I'm not going to do it. I'm going to culinary school.
So okay, the SATs. Can you get a little closer to the mic?
Yeah.
And so the SATs are upon you, and then you said, no, I'm going to go do this. You followed. That was a passion of yours. So a little bit different. You had some real deep interest into it.
Yeah, for sure. Because I was always in like honors classes and like AP classes and stuff like that. So everybody was kind of like, what? But I followed it, and it's worked out.
Okay. So then people thought you were going to take the academic role because you were naturally good at that. And so that was a surprise to say SATs, no, not going to happen. I'm going to go do this.
Yeah.
So are you both from the same city in California? Like
She's kind of from where I'm from. I'm from San Diego.
Okay.
But I'm from like the bottom in Chula Vista, and she lives in North County in Escondido. So I just mess with her and tell her she's not from San Diego.
Oh, gotcha.
She is.
Yeah. So Escondido, and then you're from, like you said, Chula Vista, like National City area, stuff like that, or
pretty much, yeah.
Pretty much around that area.
Yeah.
And then what culinary school did you guys go to?
It doesn't exist anymore, but it was the Art Institute in Mission Valley.
Okay. So it was at, why doesn't it exist anymore?
They just closed down for one reason or another. We're not really sure, but it was a couple of years after she graduated. I didn't. And then, they shut down, and campus is closed. I think they might have even tore the building down at this point.
Oh, wow. So was that a popular place to go to? Or is it, okay, it's the area, I'm going to go here? Either of you and both of you?
No, it was pretty popular. I feel like it was a fairly large program because a lot of the other more popular would be like CIA, but that's in Napa and New York, so not everyone wants to travel that far. But
so then part of the decision is like, okay, it's closer, I don't want to travel, but this is for you a passion. This was something that came up for you. So when you get there, did you meet right away, both of you? We
had the first class together, I think.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
The very first class.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so then you're over there, you meet at culinary school, and then what is it like? Do you guys get partnered up? Then like, okay, you got a project, you got to make this cake or whatever.
Pretty much, I think, if I remember right, they paired us up into groups of like 5 or 6 or something like that, and you would learn as a class, and then they'd split you off into your groups, and hey, this group today we're making chicken stock, or we're making whatever it may be, and so as a group, you guys kind of figure out what you're doing, and then you all each make your own, but you're as a group still, if that makes any sense.
Yeah.
So I think we ended up in the same group, if not the first time or the second time, something like that.
Yeah, we were together for that group, and then when we did like the finals test, we were paired as just two of us at a table.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, we just became friends. And then.
And so how long was this school?
Good question. I didn't graduate. How long was
okay.
it?
4 years.
4 years. 4 years.
Yeah.
You graduated.
Yeah.
And then you said, I know enough already, or?
School has never been my thing.
Yeah, yo también.
Yeah, I made it through high school, good enough to play sports and graduate, and went to culinary school and realized I still hated doing homework and all that stuff. And so I just said, I'm just going to go work.
How long did you go to school for?
Ooh, 9 months maybe.
9 months?
Yeah.
9 months?
Not very long.
But that was enough time to fall in love and, you know that this is what you want to do.
I don't think I actually fell in love with it until I started cooking.
I was talking about her, but yeah.
Oh, her.
Yeah.
Got it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Pretty much.
Yeah. So then, when you dropped out, is that when you went to become a dishwasher?
Yeah.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, pretty much jumped right into that. Probably washed dishes for about a year, and then got my chance.
Mm-hmm. So how about you when you graduated?
When I graduated, I started. I was never a dishwasher, but I started as a prep cook, and then I became a line cook, and then after that, you just like progress.
So what exactly does a prep cook do?
You make like the soups and like the sauces, as well as like prep all the cut all the vegetables, make everything that is necessary to make the composed dishes, basically.
Mm-hmm. So as a prep cook, then next thing you want to work up is obviously to be the main chef at the place. Is that correct?
From prep, you typically go to the line.
Line. Okay.
So
what does line do?
So the line is where everything's made. Like if you go to a restaurant and you order, a Caesar salad, then the salad station is going to be, that's your line cook, your line cook on salad. So they'll make your Caesar right there. And so on the line, you typically have many stations. You'll have what they call garde manger, or cold appetizers and salads. Usually have a hot appetizer station, then a grill, a saute station. Sometimes they split it into fish and meat. Every restaurant's different, but usually there are multiple stations down the line that you can work towards or work on.
So there is a pathway forward, and being a line cook is one of the ways to get to be the main chef.
Yeah, I would say the progression would be from dish to prep, from prep to line. You work your way down the line.
Down the line.
Then they have what's called a lead line cook, which is kind of a guy who floats and knows how to do everything, and he's there to help you out if your station gets busy or you run out of stuff. He's there to help you. After that, you start seeing sous chefs. Then you get maybe.
What does that mean?
A sous chef is basically, it's a kitchen manager, but he's not the top. So there's usually a couple of them, and they report to the executive chef. So cooks report to sous chefs report to executive chefs, and then from executive chef, you're kind of at the top of the kitchen. You still report to like the general manager.
So what was your trajectory?
Like, how did I go?
Yeah, so you were a dishwasher, then you said about a year into it, then you get an opportunity.
Yeah, so I actually skipped prep, which is funny. I went from dish to sushi, and then when I stopped doing sushi, I went to restaurants that are doing more cooked food, and I went right to the line. I stayed a line cook for probably 5 or 6 years, maybe, just through various restaurants. And then ultimately finally got my chance at a sous chef spot in Napa. Did that for a couple of years, and then actually went back to being a line cook, but I went to a higher caliber restaurant. So it also depends on, is this a Michelin-star restaurant? Is it a Denny's? It's somewhere in the middle. You could be an executive chef at a more casual restaurant, and then maybe step back to be a line cook, but at a more higher caliber place.
Yeah, like you said, the restaurant, the 5-star restaurant, something that's a little bit more elite, you're going to have to take that role backwards in order to...
A lot of times, yes, because they're going to have different procedures for everything. So you kind of have to go learn how they do it. I'd say like a casual restaurant, like a Applebee's, a Chili's, something like that, they probably operate pretty similar.
So then, but when did you guys decide to kind of do your own thing? Was it, like I kind of know enough, we could do this? What was that like?
So we're actually a product of COVID.
Oh,
so
okay.
Our business started in Napa Valley, and we served that whole area: San Francisco, Napa, Oakland, all that stuff. And the reason we started was because we were just out of work. We didn't have anything to do. And we have a family. I have a family friend named Chef Andreas, and he's talked to my dad on occasion about like, hey, your son should start a business. He knows how to cook, this and that. And I never really was into that. It's kind of scary. But
to have your own business, to kind of be the man, to have it all fall and rest on your shoulders.
Yeah, to just say bye to the guaranteed paycheck and do it yourself kind of thing. And then once COVID happened, we're out of work anyway. So that was, it kind of made the decision for us. Because I don't think either of us are looking to do anything else professionally. I tried other things. I tried to work at a grocery store during that time. I tried to do other ways to make money, and it just wasn't fulfilling to me. So that's kind of how it started. We're, again, backed into that weird corner where we have a family, we have kids, we have dogs and cats and things to pay for, and how else are we going to do it?
Yeah, so COVID happens. A lot of people had to pivot, switch. Something's, you got to make money, and restaurants are closed or limited. There's a big shakeup. And then you said that something that you didn't want now becomes a necessity.
Yeah, and I think it was just fear of the unknown for us. We took off right away. We did really well, and it was a lot of fun. Honestly, probably more fun than I've ever had cooking before. So much that I would never go back to working in a restaurant.
Because you were doing it for yourself, and then you were able to kind of show everybody your product, what you're able to do?
Pretty much doing it for ourselves. It's so much more fulfilling. You meet cool people. You're going into their homes. It's so much more personal, as opposed to just standing behind a counter. Your printer goes off, you rip the ticket, you see what it says, and you make it, and you just put it up there, and it goes to whoever it goes to.
So we're going to take a break right now, and then we're going to come on the other side of the break, and we're going to find out how you come from the Golden State area, right? You said up in Napa Valley to Yuma, and I believe you said you have some family here, so we'll see if that's any link to it. But we're going to do that after a quick break. You're listening to What's Up Yuma Radio right here on 94.7 KOFA Border Radio.
The First Amendment, the first one, enshrines the right to a free press in the United States. Help NPR and this station keep exercising this critical right by making your gift today. And thank you.
Give now by visiting kawc.org/donate. And thanks.
Hear the rhythm. Feel the beat. Let your curiosity run away on the Latin Alternative. Hi, I'm Josh Norrick. Every episode of the Latin Alternative takes you on a thrilling rendezvous of sonic and exotic landscapes in Latin rock, funk, hip-hop, electronic, and tropical music. Join me and my co-host Ernesto Lechner on the Latin Alternative.
This evening at 7 p.m. on KOFA Border Radio 94.7 FM. In Yuma County, it'll be sunny with a high near 83 degrees today. Clear skies tonight with a low of 55 in Kingman. Sunny and breezy with a high near 71 degrees. Winds could gust up to 22 miles per hour out of the northeast. Clear tonight with a low of 45 in Prescott. Sunny with a high near 66 degrees. Calm during the day and clear tonight with a low of 35 in Flagstaff. Sunny and breezy with a high near 57 degrees. Winds gusting up to 16 miles per hour out of the east. Clear tonight with a low around 26.
Today's day sponsor is Kids at Hope Yuma, presenting No Exceptions, a concert featuring the frontmen, lead singers from Lone Star, Restless Heart, and Little Texas. The event, supporting the local efforts of Kids at Hope, happens at 5 p.m. on February 14th at Desert Sun Stadium. More information and tickets are available at kidsathopeyuma.org.
Welcome to KAWC's The Hotspot.
Produced by the KAWC Student Newsroom, we look forward to bringing you news that matters to Yuma and La Paz counties.
This week, we spoke with local ICE protesters and a statewide organization who advocates for rural communities.
This show is available as a podcast or online at kawc.org under the Shows tab.
Bringing the heat to Yuma and La Paz, it's The Hotspot.
Tom Hacksaw Colson had a 2008 Ford Escape Hybrid that lived a previous life working in photo radar. After using it for years car camping, Tom's car died right outside of Parker. Rather than tow it, Tom donated the car to Border Radio. If you'd like to donate your vehicle, running or not, visit borderradioaz.org/cars.
I'm Dave Rigg, General Manager for KAWC and KOFA Border Radio. We are looking for music lovers who can help us create this music mix and present it on the radio. If you'd like to volunteer, send me an email to music@borderradioaz.org.
What's up, Yuma? Welcome back to What's Up, Yuma Radio. We are here talking to Nate and Jackie from Golden State Chefs. And I kind of left off and said, okay, you're in Napa Valley, which is probably a beautiful area. But then you come to Yuma, which has its unique charm, but it's definitely a big difference than over there in Napa Valley. What kind of prompted that? Because you have this going, you're doing good, you have your own business, you're catering events, correct?
Yes.
Stuff like that. And then, but what prompted you move to Yuma?
So we had to stop first. We tried to move back home to San Diego because we have 3 kids. I think I said that before. I don't know if I said how many, but after the third one, it got pretty tough. There's no family out there for us.
Gotcha.
And so
no support.
Pretty much. Like, we did have grandparents coming out to help, but it's a lot for them to travel and go back and forth. And
3 kids, 2 parents that are both working for the same company, so they're going to be out at the same, time. You're both entrepreneurs, so it's difficult without having that family support. So then you said, okay, we're going to go back to Diego, but what happens in Diego?
It was a weird market, honestly. We didn't really do well there. For one reason or another, and then also the family support kind of just fell through. We had one family member decide they were going to move to San Bernardino. Her mom lives quite far from where we decided to move to, about an hour away still. And then the other family members are still working full time. So then it was kind of a similar situation where we still don't have help.
You're there, and then you said the market. Well, I guess from coming from Yuma to going to San Diego, we just think expensive. It's more expensive to live over there. But what was it about the market that didn't really?
Well, that's the odd part. There is a ton of money there, and you'll see even where we're living in a more humble town, still someone driving a Lamborghini or Ferrari. It kind of didn't line up. And, we've had people ask for caterings for things like tacos or more simple food, and that's great. We love tacos, but it's not what we really do. And so I think it was just mismatched. People that have a certain expectation or like a certain kind of food or maybe a certain price point in mind versus what we're offering. And so we just didn't sell many experiences there. We were still going up to the Bay Area all the time for work.
Still had to travel.
Going to Palm Springs, North Los Angeles. We're going everywhere except San Diego. We had a couple, but overall it just wasn't very good. And so we got kind of in a money spot, no support. Then we have the family member that lives out here. We kind of talked to him and my uncle a little bit. And I think that was kind of where we landed, was we still want to be close to home to be able to go do these things in San Diego. But again, like you said, expensive. We couldn't even afford to do things like take our kids to SeaWorld or go to the zoo or things like that. So we're kind of just barely scraping by and not even enjoying our time there.
Yeah.
It's so much better to live here. And honestly, we love Yuma.
What was your thoughts when you first got her?
Well, so where we moved, it was a little scary driving down our street the first time. It has a primitive road sign right there.
Do you still live at the same?
Yep.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So, but then our house actually is in a nice little private driveway, and the homes are nice there. So we're like, okay, this is cool. We enjoy the smallness of it, being able to get into a Walmart and out in 5 minutes or less, as opposed to San Diego, you're in for 15 minutes no matter what you do. And just less congested here. I think we really enjoy that part of just not being in a huge city.
Yeah, absolutely. But then you got to come in and you got to make a name for yourself in a new city, a new place, obviously. And I think I talked to you about the name Golden State, right? Obviously, it thinks California. You're going to think about the Bay Area. But it's also pretty expensive to rebrand and to kind of go over that whole thing, right? But then so now you're in the desert, having to just kind of get your name, get your footing here. How's that been?
Well, we don't do a lot of private events in Yuma, but we do meal prep.
Yeah.
So that's something that we started doing to offer things in Yuma. Again, culturally, I don't know how much people are into what we do as far as experiences go, but people got to eat, and meal prep's a great road for that. So that's kind of what we did to get our name in town. Other than that, we still travel a little bit. Most of our events tend to be out in kind of the Phoenix and Scottsdale area.
So if you're going to cater because of the level that that you're used to as far as being both chefs, it's out of town because maybe the market here isn't ready for that. But then you found a niche within doing food prep. Is it like food prep for like if you're on a diet, or food prep if you're busy? What was the angle on that?
It kind of just depends on whatever is necessary for the people getting the meal prep. Like, we can basically do any diet, really any cuisine type. We are pretty versatile, so anything they really need us to do, we can do for them. And we've also Done like a lot of hospital drop-offs and stuff, and yeah, like kind of just special event like drop-off things.
Holiday drop-offs.
Yeah.
We do meal prep for a couple doctors in town.
Oh, okay.
And so they'll have like their Christmas party, and we'll go drop off a big tray of whatever they ask for.
So how'd you meet? You just out kind of networking, trying to find out who's who and what's what?
Actually, it's funny. I made a post in a Yuma group about meal prep, and within like 5 minutes, some lady messaged me, and she's connected with a lot of these doctors. She does stuff for them too, and so it was kind of interesting. So she's the one that connected us with who we cook for already for the most part.
Well, that's great. That's awesome. You put this message out or this call out, and somebody gets a hold of you right away. And yeah, you're talking about networking. The reason why I brought it up is because you brought me food. Like you're new to town, you ended up bringing me stuff. Absolutely delicious. Tom Rush ate some of my food that day, but yeah. So, but that's what it takes. You come into a new city, a new town, and you're finding your niche, your market, and getting to know the people, right?
Pretty much, yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, you got to just get out there and do it because no one's going to come to you.
Yeah. Yeah. So what about, you think one day that you'll be able to do some big catering events here in Yuma?
I think we're definitely open to it. We're not shut out from Yuma. It's just that I think it's cultural, I think, to a degree, where people have an expectation of the food and they know what they like. And there are great restaurants here and people know them already.
Gotcha.
The other part of that, I think, is tourist destinations. I don't know how many people vacation here. I know we get some travelers in the wintertime.
Yeah, the winter visitors.
I don't know if they're traveling because a lot of our events are geared towards like special occasions, bachelorette parties, anniversaries, things like that.
All right. So we're going to be wrapping up right now. Let everybody know where they can find you, maybe on Instagram, Facebook, or whatever. So maybe like, hey, I need some meal prep.
We are on all social platforms except TikTok as Golden State Chefs, one word. And our website is www.goldenstatechefs.com.
All right. Thank you so much for coming in. And you brought cookies. So you guys are official. Some of my favorite guests. Which ones are these?
So these are cornflake, marshmallow, and chocolate chip cookies. These are my favorite.
All right.
And then we have another one. These are more basic. They're just red velvet cookies.
All right. I'm going to let Cecilia and Talon have some of these as well. So thank you guys for coming on. I appreciate it.
Thanks for having us.
And with that, What's Up Yuma Radio is a production of Colorado River Public Media. We broadcast from the studios in the Matador Activity Center at Arizona Western College in Yuma. Want to thank our engineer, Talon Gonzalez, Anthony Arnales, Juan Garcia, Dave Reek, and Cecilia. You can find out more about KAWC at kawc.org and on the Facebook page and on the KAWC app. Stay tuned for the next program, which is the KOFA Midday Music. And on tomorrow's program, we're going to have some great guests. You're going to have to tune in for that. And you can also listen to the podcast version of our program and check out past episodes anytime at kawc.org/podcast/What's Up Yuma Radio.
What's Up Yuma is sponsored by High Tanks Brewing Company, serving up scratch-made food, craft beers, and experiences at 2 desert locations in Welton. More at hightanks.com.
Thanks for listening to KOFA Yuma, whether it is on the radio at 94.7 FM or 1320 AM, or on your smartphone with the KOFA app, or on your computer at kawc.org. We are glad you have chosen us.
Blood services provider Vitalant is hosting blood drives at Yuma locations on an ongoing basis. Daily personal emergencies and ongoing medical needs of thousands of patients require a constant and ready blood supply. Donations of all blood types, especially O, are needed. Locations, dates, and appointments at donors.vitalant.org.
BBC News with Govinda Gill. The Colombian President Gustavo Petro has been meeting Donald Trump at the White House after months of tension during which they've traded fiery insults on social media. Mr. Petro has been strongly critical of U.S. military action in Latin America, as our correspondent at the White House, Katrina Perry, explains.
In the wake of that Venezuela attack by the U.S. military taking